Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to another show. As I unmute everyone because I believe they're making noise. Oh, hi!
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Today, Thursday's my favorite day actually. Just players all day. I get to do player voices all day, and it's a lot of fun. So let's go through the things that all you cute chaps in chat need to know about. First of all, we got the socials. That's the Discord and the Twitter and the YouTube. Discord, inclusive, safe, family, fun society where you can come and be yourselves, talk about D&D, talk about anything you like. Twitter, if you want to get into some of our games, maybe Argo37, the previous stream, or some of the streams that you might have seen yesterday if you were tuning in, send me a DM and I will get you into a game. And YouTube, actually, if you already follow me on YouTube, turn off your notifications because this weekend I uploaded 40 videos to try and catch up, and this weekend I intend to upload another 30. So next week, YouTube your hearts out, but this week, possibly hold off because I'm going to bombard you. We're now full time, guys, and at the bottom of the screen, just below me, you can see our progress bar. Like, we've got less than £700 now to meet our goal for the month, and we've still got 14 days to do it. That's like less than 50 quid a day, which is honestly incredible. We do have a stretch goal. Our stretch goal is to try and get to Gen Con. This is just covering costs. We're going to try and get to Gen Con next year, but, you know, the support's been amazing, and we're incredibly grateful for it. So continue donating. Just continue donating, all of you. We also have Patreon, and we have merch as well, which are other ways you can support us. And another way, again, that you can support us is by supporting our sponsors, who you can see in the top right of the stream. We have Bird in the Storm Publishing. That's their Twitter there, and the link to their merch, which is very comfortable. And also, we have Mage Hand Press, which is our new sponsor as of yesterday. So there's all their information now. There is also something about like a new backer kit or something that I've like been seeing from Mage Hand Press. Like, so like there's pre-order stuff and like okay. So you can pre-order. There's a pre-order link and there's a 30-page free preview in them links as well. So. Good stuff. Tweet! I'm not going to press the tweet command because if I do, it'll do the wrong thing. But I have set the bot to tweet regularly about the tweet. I should really change that. In fact, when everyone else is introducing themselves, I'll change that so that I can call it on command like all the other tweet commands. But in the meantime, every 10 retweets we get on this stream, we get a +1 or a -1, which we flip a coin for the remainder of the scene. So, please retweet away. Katie, I put it into your very capable hands to introduce the players and yourself and the game and everything else. Oh, hi.
Hi, everybody. I think first we will go around and introduce everybody. Tell them your name, your pronouns, who you play, and your skin. So, Alice, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm Alice, or White Rabbit Pick, on Twitter, and I am playing the skin is a ghost. Her name is, well, she identifies as she, her, and it's Sandy Phillips.
Dingo.
Oops, I was muted. Hi, I'm Dingo. I go by she, her. I play Claudia Harper, the Sasquatch, also goes by she, her. And I have a request for everyone in chat that if I do my usual, like starting to lean over here and out of frame, yell at me. Yell at me so much.
Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg. I play Quinn Willoughby, the Fae, and both I and she go by she, her pronouns.
Scrat.
I am Scraticus. You may know me from channels such as Scraticus and Encounter Roleplay and other things. I go by any pronouns you like, and I'm playing Elvis, who is he, him. He, him, werewolf. Hunter, killer. Not a coward.
Not a coward.
Not a coward.
You got rid of that condition. You're good. I'm Katie. I am the MC. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm here to lead these sweet summer children on a beautiful story that hopefully doesn't get anyone hurt. So last time we caught up, we began with Claudia and her friend Elliot. Elliot had called her and woke her up from sleep, and she went down to the Sidewinder River to meet Elliot. Elliot had found a dead body, which was of their classmate Tyler. They called the police. It was revealed that Tyler was sort of fooling around with both Claudia and Elliot. As they left and went back to school, we flashed back to what was happening. Detective Rodriguez questioned Elvis. If I'm not mistaken, Chloe, Quinn's sister, came to pick her up, revealed that there was a dead body that was found, and then also that Morgan had died from her wounds. As she took Quinn home, they had a very awkward conversation in the car, and Quinn sort of noticed that her sister was sort of moved by some things that was said. She wasn't acting normally, of some things that Quinn described at school, especially when she mentioned a girl named Sandy. When Tyler and Claudia got back, the group all went to look for the body that had been found earlier that day. They went into sort of the attic above school, the crawl spaces, and they found the body. And when they pulled the sheet off to look at the body, they discovered that it was none other than their friend who was with them, Sandy, who had a very peaceful look on her face, and the body wasn't decomposed or anything. It was in great condition. Seeing this, though, scared Claudia. Claudia fell out of the crawl space. Quinn had come back to the school around this time, helped Claudia up. Long story short, all of you got out of the crawl space, and I think either Claudia or Quinn had suggested going to the nurse, and both Elvis and Elliot had agreed, and Elvis said that he needed to take Sandy to the nurse because his hand went right through her when he touched her. So yeah, we're gonna pick up with that. The 5 of you are leaving the lab. Quinn, you're still sort of helping Claudia walk because she's hurt her ankle. You head to the nurse's office. And as you get there, it's a nicer sized nurse's office, pretty well stocked, comfortable looking place. And as you walk in, this woman looks at you, and you know this is your nurse Robinson, and she sees you limping, Claudia, and she just says, what are you doing? Are you okay, honey? And she just stands up and like goes over to you and Quinn and sort of takes up the slack that Quinn was carrying.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just I tripped and I twisted my ankle, I think.
Oh, yeah. Come in. And she leads you to this cot and sits you down. And she notices Sandy and Elvis and Elliot, and she notices the look on Sandy's face and says, "Sweetie, are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost."
And at that, she's sort of like, I'm just tired. I feel a bit wobbly. I'm fine.
Oh, well, come on in too. And she leads you over to another cot and sits the both of you down. And you see her sort of open up a cabinet and grab out some bandages and stuff. And she goes over and helps Claudia prop her foot up, and she begins to wrap it. And after a moment, she looks around. Why aren't y'all are y'all part of the summer school program? Why aren't you in class?
Our teacher's not really
Scavenger hunt.
scavenger hunt.
Oh,
Well, no, the scavenger hunt got cancelled.
But we were just looking to finish it because, we get extra credit.
oh, you must be in Mrs. Prax's class.
Hang on a minute, we get extra credit?
Yeah, it's all right, Elvis. Apparently they've cancelled it. We'll sort it out.
What, you have to,
No.
have they cancelled it, or do we get extra credit? Because I need to pass some tests.
They've cancelled it, but I'm sure they'll reopen it again. And she's not making eye contact with like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She the nurse like stands up, finishes wrapping your ankle, Claudia. She says, we're still moving in some new supplies. If you'll give me just a moment, I'm gonna go get you some Advil. Give me just a minute and I'll be right back. And she looks at the rest of you and she goes, just make yourself comfortable. I'll be back really soon. And she turns and walks out of the room, leaving the four of you alone. About a couple of minutes after, all of you sort of notice the lights flicker.
What was that?
It's probably just electricity giving out or something. Maybe switching over to another generator. I'm not really sure how it all works. You know, you're real lucky to be okay on Advil. I can't have any painkillers. I'm allergic.
Oh, yeah, I guess I am kind of lucky. I'm just hoping I'll still be able to play with my ankle all messed up.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be alright.
The lights flicker again, and this time it stays darker for a little bit longer, and the four of you hear what sounds like a faint crying noise in the distance. Like someone crying.
Quinn's gonna look at Sandy and be like, you're not doing that, right?
No, I'm not. And she just gets a bit like defensive more than anything. She sort of crosses her arms and just not turns away from everyone like a hut, but like she just sort of directs her body away from them. No, does it look like I'm doing it?
Just wanted to make sure.
As you ask this, Quinn, the words leave your mouth and the room goes completely dark. And Sandy, no one else notices this. And in fact, the room sort of seems to go into slow motion as it goes dark. Only you are sort of present. As you look around, you notice you're in this dark void, completely alone.
And she sort of, she just stands up and starts looking around. She's like, guys, where did you go?
After a moment, you hear this voice. I don't know where we are. It's just really, you see this body begin to form in the shadows, and as if there's like a little spotlight on just this body. And I want you to gaze into the abyss for me. So roll dark. Ooh. Yeah, so
I'm good at that.
you're good at that. As you walk forward, you realize that this is Morgan because you see the burns on their body. And they're not paying attention to you. They're just talking about how much it hurts. And it burns so much.
Morgan? Morgan?
When you say that, they turn around and they see you, Sandy, and you notice their eyes sort of focus and then go angry. And they scream, this ear-piercing scream to you that is so loud and shrill that it feels like it's hurting your brain.
Like Sandy will clamp her hands over her ears, just like, shut up! Like just like always screaming back at her.
She stands up quickly and just goes, this was you. You did this. This was all your fault. I didn't deserve to die. This was you. And she goes to grab at you, lunge forward, and you can feel this burn coming over your body, encapsulating you. And she's going to like try to wrap her arms around her neck. And she's just sort of shaking the air from your lungs as she's doing this.
And she's like clawing at her hands, trying to pull them away.
Roll volatile. You can roll to run away.
I fit.
Mark experience. So you can't get them off, but you feel something so familiar to you. You sort of feel as if your life is slipping away once more. And as it does, your eyes go a little blurry, and you notice those similar hash marks on Morgan's arms. And then everything stops and you're lucid again. You're back in the nurse's office. Everyone's surrounded by you, and it's like no time has passed. It's like Quinn has just stopped talking.
She doesn't say anything. It's more like you can hear her breathing, like it's like she's gasped and finally got air again, and she's like, and she's sort of like double checking the room just quite quickly in general. She just touches her throat briefly, but won't say anything.
Yeah, and I think you all notice this gasp of breath from her. But besides the crying and the flickering lights, nothing has happened to you. The crying has stopped for the rest of you, and also the lights seem fine now. Just that, fluorescent buzz of a light above you. And after a moment, the nurse comes back in with a little pill container, and she walks over to Claudia and hands it over with some water and says, this should ease the swelling, but I think you should probably take it easy for a couple of days. It'll be back to normal.
A couple of days. Okay. I guess I could do that. Do you know if there's anything going wrong with the power, or if there's like a storm coming?
I don't think so. I checked the weather this morning. It's supposed to be sunny for the rest of the week.
Oh shit!
Nothing.
It's gonna be sunny all week, and you're laid up in bed with a broken ankle.
It's just sprain. She'll be fine.
Still.
If she just keeps it wrapped and elevated. Just practice rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation, you'll be fine. You play baseball. I've seen you out there. You know what to do.
Compression, elevation, yep. I can definitely do that.
She walks back over to you, Sandy, and she says, how are you feeling? You can stay here and rest if you need to.
No, I'm fine. In fact, she just stands over there. I'm gonna go. Like you said, I've got class. And she just goes to walk away.
What are the rest of you doing?
Quinn is just kind of sitting near Claudia and kind of like, I don't know, providing comfort whenever she needs it, but not really doing a whole lot else.
I'm gonna stay here and just lay down for a little bit. Okay. You guys don't have to stay if you don't want to. I mean, I'm sure Mrs. Prax is back by now.
Okay.
Make sure
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm technically supposed to be at home, so I should probably go home before Mom gets home. And Quinn's gonna actually get up and leave.
Yeah. What about you, Elvis?
Well, are we supposed to be? I'm supposed to be in class, and so I guess I should really get on to class. Claudia, are you staying here for a bit? Sandy, do you want to walk back with me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Now, you need to explain something on the way, though.
What?
Well, is the scavenger hunt on or cancelled or what? Because I want to pass this year.
I think it's best to ask teacher.
Best to ask teacher. Okay.
We can go and ask.
Tweeter of Vecna donates. 2 bad things for Elvis. 1 good thing for Sandy. 1 good thing for Meg.
Bad things for Elvis.
Also, likes the villain, or Sheena donated as well to give a nat 20 to Sandy, a nat 20 to Claudia, and a nat 1 to Elvis. Sorry, I'm pronouncing Claudia like it's Italian. Is it Claudia or Claudia?
Claudia.
Yeah, I'm going full Italian on it.
It's Claudia.
Claudia.
So 2 bad things for Elvis and 1 good thing for Sandy.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
And a good thing for Meg.
Okay.
Or rather, Quinn.
Quinn, Sandy. Okay. So yeah, I think you, the group of you leave, or you and Sandy leave together, heading back to class, leaving Claudia alone in the nurse's office to rest when you leave school grounds. Unless there was anything else you guys wanted to handle during the day, I think we're going to time skip, if that's fine with everybody.
Well, I mean, it depends if the scavenger hunt is on. I'm joking, of course we can.
We'll start with, before we do an official time skip, Quinn, you leave, and you get as you're sort of like, picking your bike up and getting on, you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket.
I will pull my phone out and check it.
As you do, you see there's a text from your sister, and it just reads simply, WTF, you went back to the school, mom's home and she's pissed.
Quinn's gonna type back and say, I needed to pick up some homework that I was gonna miss, but I'll be home in a minute.
You see, like, for a pretty long moment, the 3 little bubbles pop up as if she's typing, and she says, you better, because she's on a warpath.
All right. Without responding, Quinn's going to get on her bike and ride home as fast as possible.
As you ride home, you sort of come into your you're probably about 5 minutes away from like your general neighborhood, and you can feel eyes on the back on your back, like someone's watching you.
Quinn's gonna kind of like look around a little bit, like not totally look away from where she's going so I don't fall off the bike, but kind of check and see if I can see anyone around.
Yeah, you feel like you get the glimpse of someone stepping like beside a car and ducking down. That's the word. But as you look, you notice that the sky begins to grow dark around you, like a sudden storm coming on. The clouds are very heavy. If you look up, you can sort of see the distant lightning in the distance. But you still feel that feeling, like the hair standing up on your arms if someone's watching you.
Quinn's just gonna kind of pedal faster. Try to beat the storm home.
As you're pedaling, you do feel all of a sudden, or you see all of a sudden someone like steps out in front of your bike.
Step out in front of my bike. She's gonna like kind of yank her handlebars over to the side and skid to a stop.
And this person you see has a hoodie pulled up over their head, sort of bandana tied around their face. You can't make out who they are. Eyes are dark. They're dressed in baggy clothes, and they're coming to. You get the sense they're coming to grab you. They're sort of stomping toward you with their arms out and making a move to like yank you off of your bike, but you don't know who this person is.
Okay. Quinn is going to freak out and just kind of try to punch this person. What do I roll for that?
Lash out physically. You roll volatile.
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I failed.
You did? It didn't come up on my end.
It didn't come. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I guess that was. Sorry. No, never mind. I actually think. Never mind.
So when you succeed, you are going to deal them harm, and they choke up momentarily before they react. So, you reach out, and as this guy gets close, like within grabbing range, and you just deck him right in the nose, and he steps back and like holds his face, and just sort of curses under his breath. And you can, out of the corner of your eye, you see another figure, and they just go, "Hey, leave her alone," just screams. And the guy like looks up, looks at you, looks at this figure, and then takes off running, sort of between houses.
Okay.
And the other I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, the other figure who called out, like coolly, walks up to you. He's a tall, lanky looking man, very young looking, with blonde hair that's slicked back, dressed in a navy suit, very weirdly out of place looking, but I mean it's very sort of metro looking.
Okay.
And he like comes up to you with his hands out, like, I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you okay? Like, was he trying to attack? Did you know that person?
I have no idea who that was. I don't know what's going on, and she's just like wigging out.
Don't calm down. I think he's gone. I mean, you punched him really good.
Okay. She kind of calms down and is like, yeah, I don't know what happened there. I really need to get home. I was supposed to be home earlier, and my mom's really mad.
He just nods, and he has sort of like this amused smirk on his face, but after a moment he tilts his head. You look. Are you related to Chloe Willoughby?
And she kind of is taken aback a little bit and goes, yeah, that's.
He nods, really excited. He's like, oh shit, I went to high school with her. We were friends. My name's Francis Abrams.
Francis,
it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
You're her little sister then? So Quinn, I think she's talked about you before.
Yes, I'm Quinn.
Well, I can't believe I saw Chloe Willoughby's little sister nearly get mugged in this neighborhood.
Yeah, nothing like that usually happens around here. I'm kind of in shock a little.
I mean, I don't blame you. Is your sister home from college? Is she home?
Yeah, she actually picked me up earlier today, and then I had to go back to school to take care of something real quick. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Tell her Francis says hi, and it was nice to meet you.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'll do that. And also probably make sure that guy doesn't attack anyone again. Okay. Yeah. So bye. And she just kind of freaks out and gets on her bike.
Yeah, he like you sort of can see him in your periphery as you pedal off, that he's standing there, gives you a little wave, and then walks off a little further and goes into this sort of similar house to yours. A lot of the houses in the neighborhood are very similar. Mm-hmm. But he disappears from your sight. And as you get home and walk in, you can hear your sister and your mother arguing in the kitchen. And you know that the subject is you because they're using like she, her. I mean, it's about you.
Right. Do I hear kind of any like clear sentences of what they're saying? Like,
oh yeah, you definitely do. It is about the fact that you were in summer school. There was a body found. There's another body found elsewhere. It's just this like argument of your sister saying that you shouldn't go to that school. Maybe they should, you should go somewhere else for your senior year. And your mother's, her argument being that no, it's my daughter's senior year. She should finish out the school she's gone to,
All right. So Quinn is going to kind of tentatively walk into the conversation and be like, I'm gonna wave at him.
Chloe looks at you and is like, look, Mom, she just left too. This whoever she's hanging out with, it's not good. And your mom rolls her eyes and she's like, since when are you her mother? Gwen, are you all right?
I'm kind of okay. Nothing outside of, I mean, obviously something happened at school today. I mean, there was a body, but I just went back to the school real quick to take care of some homework stuff. And on my way home, I actually think I almost got attacked by a guy in a hoodie with a face mask on. So that happened.
Both of them looked shocked, like jaws dropped, eyes wide. And your mom just goes, what is this neighborhood coming to? I'm glad you're all right. Thank God. Do you need to call the police? Are you sure he got away?
He got away. I managed to punch him in the face, but
You hear Chloe like snicker underneath her breath.
there was also someone there, so I think they kind of got scared off by the other person, and so that helped. But yeah, I'm okay. I don't know if calling the police would help because I didn't really see what that person looked like.
Your mom nods. Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to bother them. I'm just very glad you're okay. And she walks sort of around the kitchen island and gives you a quick hug. Listen, it was a long day at work and I'm off early. I shouldn't be, but Chloe acted like this was the end of the world. I'm sorry you had to witness a dead body in your school, honey, but
Yeah.
as long as you tell me you're all right, I trust you.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm mostly okay. Yeah. I'm just, a little shocked. That's all.
She nods and she kisses your forehead. I'm gonna go rest for a little bit before dinner tonight.
Okay.
Please don't fight with each other. And she looks from you to your sister, and she walks out of the kitchen. And Chloe looks at you, and is like, "I can't believe you punched someone enough to make them run away."
It just was kind of I guess an impulse. I didn't really think about it. They were coming at me and tried to grab me, and I just punched them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of you. I wish I could have witnessed it, but damn, Quinn.
Well, I mean, there was a witness. Your friend Francis is apparently back in town, and he said to say hi to you.
When you say the name Francis, you notice the tiniest quirk of like tension in her brow. Oh, he is.
Yeah. He actually asked if you were home, if you had come back from college.
What did you tell him?
I said, yeah. Was that bad?
It's not good, but it'll be okay.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, I don't think Mom's gonna take you out of school, so I'm just gonna give up that argument. But we really need to get you like a taser or something if you're gonna get attacked, if there's gonna be dead bodies around. This just doesn't seem safe.
Yeah, something is obviously weird right now, so that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, she just sort of chuckles and goes to the fridge and takes out a bottle of water. Well, let's you want to hang out before dinner or something? You can tell she's sort of like at a loss of what to do now that she's lost what she was arguing.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she takes you like into you guys like have sort of like a study guest room kind of, or a game room kind of thing, and sort of take you, the both of you go in there and maybe like watch TV for a little bit, that kind of thing, you know, just hanging out until dinner.
Quinn will probably be mostly quiet instead of really talking about anything. Like she's probably glad for the distraction.
Yeah, I think Chloe is as well. She is sort of glad you're not asking any questions, so she stays quiet and watches TV. So as school, some time passes. Elvis, you leave school and you return to your shack in the woods outside of Leafside. And it's just you, surrounded by the sounds of nature as you walk up to, you know, the familiar path where you live. And it's a very serene sight. What does the shack look like, Elvis? Like, describe it to us.
Well, it's sort of run down, and god damn it, it's raining again, and that means that the floor is going to be all wet. I should probably get up there and fix that roof, but I just can't really be bothered. I don't really spend much time in there anyway. I mostly just sleeps in there. And that's when I'm not out hunting. So, you know, it's simple. That's probably the best way to put it. We got an outhouse. We put one in last year. So now we got an outhouse. It's a pit with a door. It's a nice room with there's a mattress in a corner. And I got a beer fridge, but I ain't got no electricity. So, I don't really drink beer much either. I just stick to this liquor, so I can mainly keep liquor in it.
As you get closer, you catch a familiar scent on the air. And even though it's familiar, you can't quite place it. And you know that it's coming from inside of your shack.
Is it now? Who goes there?
What are you just asking out?
I'm gonna call out to my shack.
Calling out. You hear a sort of like a furring of like a flurry of like magazine pages. And after a moment, the door opens to your shack and out walks this woman. She's very petite, probably like maybe 5'3", 5'2". She has this mess of fiery red curls in her head. And she looks like she's nothing more than a middle schooler, but the more you look at her, Elvis, you can tell by her bright green eyes, she is much older than what she looks. She's probably a little bit older than you, but she's just very much on the small side. Everything about her, she's very thin, very just, you know, stick straight, thin and tiny. And she's just dressed casually in a hoodie and jeans, and she's got this dark eye makeup on. And when she sees you, Elvis, she has a smile on her face, and it's something sort of predatory, and her canines sort of show, and there's like this low growl, and she says, "Well, hey there, Elvis."
How'd you know my name?
Well, see, Elvis, I don't really know how to explain this, but my name's June.
That's not a name, that's a month.
Well, you know, names can be just about anything these days. I mean, celebrities name their kids everything.
Yeah, I'm named after the king, I know that.
It's a good name. Good name. Good strong name. That's
yeah, it must be like King of England or something.
Nah. Probably. Who knows? She takes a step towards you. She says, "So how you been feeling lately there, Elvis?"
I feel fine. I'm feeling a little suspicious of you. What are you doing in my shack?
Well, I was waiting for you. See, there's things in this town, kid, you could never dream of.
Well, that's interesting.
There's things like vampires and wolves and worse, actually.
That's just kid stories.
Well, you keep thinking it's a story, it's going to come for you sooner than it comes for the rest of us who do believe. And that's why I let y'all catch me the other day. I needed to see if any of you hicks were good enough to be like us. And your dumb ass just jumped in the cage with me and tried to fight me, so I knew it had to be you.
Hang on, that was you?
Guilty as charged.
Now hang on a minute. I didn't jump in there with just about anyone. I jumped in there with no lady. I jumped in there with a big beast man thing that was gonna damn near beat the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, you put up a good fight though, and
Damn right, I've been hunting since I was a boy.
that's probably why you've been feeling a little different lately there, huh?
I feel strong as ever.
Good. That means it's taken to you good.
What are you trying to say?
She steps back and you watch as this slow transformation begins. You watch as fur begins to sprout from
What are you doing?
her arms, and she has that same predatory smile on her face as this is happening. You watch as her nose and her face becomes more prominent into a snout. Her ears go longer. Her fingers turn into long claws. Fur begins to sprout on her. Her clothes are ripping. Until standing in front of you is not the 5'2" woman who had been a moment ago, but instead about a 6-foot tall wolf. The same thing you had fought days before.
As soon as she starts changing and getting scary, I'm gonna dive into the shack and grab one of my rifles.
Okay, and she's not fighting you.
She's a big scary wolf.
She lets out this sort of laugh that it's like a mix between a laugh and a growl, and her eyes are trained on you, like just turned her neck and is watching you.
Now, with the, this ain't right.
She just puts her paws up, just stands there looking at you, not making a move to attack or anything.
I sort of rest the gun down. You can't be some sort of big beast man and a pretty lady and be not attacking me as well. All of these things add up to us having a fight.
It takes a moment, and you can tell that it's a sort of a painful process as you watch this transformation sort of reverse.
Oh,
and
shit.
After a moment, she's standing in front of you. Her clothes, her hoodie is it's covering everything. She's not completely naked or anything in front of you, but her clothes are ripped, and she's actually a little bloody, as you can tell that this transformation sort of it might have moved a couple of bones inside of her body, might have done a little bit of tore some things. There are a couple of open wounds on her now in her human form, and she's just breathing heavily, and she says, "What else do you need me to prove to you, Elvis?"
We hit 10 retweets, by the way, so we need to flip a coin for a plus or minus one. But I don't know what to do right now. I'm taking in a lot of information.
Odds will be +1. Evens will be minus. Ooh, -1. So she just says, "Look, Elvis, I knew you were the right kind of person to join. There's not just me here in Leafside. There's other people. You might actually know some of them. It's sort of a secret. We have a pack of about 15 of us. I'm the alpha.
There's 15 of you?
In Leafside, there's more all over the world."
Is this some sort of intricate? Am I drunk?
I mean, I've been watching you for the past couple of days, and you are usually drunk, so it wouldn't be out of the question. But I don't think that's got nothing to do with what I'm telling you here.
I sort of hope I am drunk, because otherwise all these bodies and stuff have made me crazy.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm here to talk to you about, Elvis. I don't know much yet because this has all been happening, but I've lost 3 pack members in only a couple of months.
Well, you
Found their
shouldn't go
bodies.
jumping into cages.
Well, no, that we found their bodies tied up in a warehouse, our warehouse, where there was fear still in their eyes, and they had all these markings on their body, and she like puts her face in her hands, and you can tell, Elvis, even you can tell she's noticeably frustrated. She just says, "Help! This morning I got word another one of mine was killed down by the river. They found his body. Some kids did."
Like when she puts her hands in her face, Elvis is just gonna like touch one of the cuts that opened up.
She just goes, "Why are you touching me, Elvis?"
I was just, well, one, I wanted to see if you were real, and two, it looks like when that wolf thing took over your body for a second, you cut open your skin. You're leaking.
Well, it's not an easy process to change, and it heals up on its own about a couple hours.
Look, shit, if we're gonna talk about this, why don't we go inside and have a drink?
All right. Yeah, and I think she follows you inside. And give me that roll there, Claudia. Okay. What is that? Someone notices you?
Yeah, so on a partial success, you're there and someone sees. If they don't draw attention to you, they gain a string on you at the end of the scene.
I think, Claudia, you are... Why are you in the woods near Elvis's house?
I think Claudia goes on walks pretty frequently, but I think she's trying to find her way back to where Elliot and her found Tyler.
Okay. Yeah, and you sort of come across this conversation, and you hide behind a tree, and you watch this whole thing happen. You watch this woman transform. You're not hearing everything. You're getting bits and pieces of information because it wasn't a success, so you could hear everything, but you're getting pieces of information. And as June follows Elvis into his shack, she turns around and you catch eyes with her, and she just winks at you. And
Claudia's darting like fully behind a tree and like covering her mouth.
And then she follows Elvis into his shack. And we'll cut over to you, Claudia. What are you doing after this?
I think I'm running as fast as I can out of the woods. And I'm going to try to find Elliot.
Okay, how are you doing that? You gonna call him or?
I think I'm just gonna text him like, "Where the hell are you?"
It takes a good 5 minutes for him to respond, but they do. After about a little bit, they text you back and they say, "I'm at the arcade."
Yeah, I don't think she responds. I think she walks. No, she probably doesn't walk. She probably takes her bike to the arcade, and she just pedals as fast as she can. She's completely out of breath by the time she gets there.
You walk into what did I name this place? Happy Score Arcade, and it is like a vintage arcade, as in a lot of the machines have like out of order signs on them and are sort of chained up. But there's like a couple of solid skee ball machines. There's a Pac-Man machine. There's like Galactica. There's Street Fighter. There's a couple of staples. But mostly people come here because it's got like cheap after school snacks, a snack bar, and it's just a leaf side establishment. Like this is just a place where people come. and you see Elliot leaning against the Street Fighter machine, tapping furiously on one of the buttons.
Okay, so besides Elliot, is there anybody else that Claudia would recognize in this?
There's actually not. It's summer, and it's relative. This is sort of after you guys have gotten out of school, so it's probably around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. In summer, you know that people come to Happy Time later on in the evening, like before they start their nights.
Okay.
But right now, it's relatively dead.
I'd still like to use my move Musk.
Oh my god!
as I'm climbing off my bike and running into the arcade. What do I roll with?
Volatile.
Oh,
you just wanted to say that fucking word, didn't you?
Yeah, duh, that's why I took this entire skin, Katie. You wanted me to. Don't even pretend.
Stop laughing!
Oh no! Damn it! At least
You're sweaty, but it is not a good sweat. It's a stank sweat.
It's a bad one.
It's a bad sweat. You are rank right now.
Oh no.
But I mean, no one in here really doesn't pay any. There's no one paying attention to notice it.
Except for probably Elliot. She goes up to the Street Fighter machine. She is just like basically crashing into it, going, "Oh my god, Elliot!"
Elliot, like, you see KO on the screen because you distracted them, and they just go, "What the fuck, Claudia? Oh, Claudia, God, I thought you were going to the dermatologist."
She grabs them and she goes, "That's not important right now. You would not believe what I have seen."
I mean, is it gonna top a dead body?
I think it might if you count full on.
What does that mean, Claudia?
Okay, so I was walking in the woods and I happened to hear Elvis, because Elvis is really loud, so I was like, I wonder what Elvis is doing. So I sort of stood behind a tree and I maybe peeked out, and he was talking to this person, right? And she just, like, her bones started popping out of place, and I think there was hair like everywhere.
Are you okay? Like, seeing Tyler and the other, did that like really mess you up? Like,
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I know what I saw.
I mean, to me, it sounds like you're describing like some shapeshifter kind of thing. That's not what are you even talking about?
Okay, well, given the things that we've seen today, I don't think that's entirely out of the question.
Yeah, for a minute, you just see his eyes go dark as like it hits him about Sandy and Sandy's body, and they just go, "Oh yeah,
Yeah."
Is Elvis okay?
I don't know.
Well, why did you leave, Claudia?
Okay, well, I was scared.
If this is it sounds like like a werewolf. What if it's gonna kill Elvis?
We don't know that they're actually called werewolves. It might just be shapeshifter. We don't
Yeah,
know.
It could shift into anything.
Some kind of. Anyway.
Okay, don't worry. We got this. Let's go.
Okay,
We're gonna go to Elvis's house.
Oh, we're going back. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't his house. It was some like shack in the woods.
Oh, that's where Elvis lives.
That's where he lives?
Yeah, he's lived there like forever.
By himself? I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Let's go.
Yeah, they follow you out, and they ride on your back of your bike back out to the entrance to the woods, and they follow you back to Elvis's shack. And we're gonna skip over to Sandy. Sandy, as your day ends at school, what do you do?
I think she'll walk. She's not too sure what direction, but she's just going to walk. She hasn't done that in a long time, and she leaves the school. She has her hands in her oversized sort of like bomber style jacket, and she pulls her hood up a little bit if it's raining. And she's just walking and thinking.
As you do, you find yourself running smack dab into this woman that's holding a grocery bag, and her groceries fall on the ground, and she just goes, "Oh my! I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry." And like, because she'd forgotten that she wasn't invisible. Like she thought she just didn't quite click because her head's all over it, and she just starts gathering up stuff straight away.
This woman, she's short and stout, and she's got salt and pepper hair. It's in a messy bun and crinkles at the corner of her dark eyes. She's like about in her 60s, and you know this woman is Harriet, Lady Harriet. To the rest of the town, she's the sort of oracle, tarot reader, weird witch sort of person. That's what everyone calls her in town. But I mean, she just sticks to herself, keeps to herself mostly. And she looks up at you and she goes, "Oh, Sandy, it's all right. It's all right. I got this." And she's like picking up the rest of her stuff.
I can help. And she's just shoving them, like really awkwardly packing them, probably ripping the bag or something as well. She's not very good at it.
Yeah, I think Harriet notices and just like, oh, just give them to me. I got them, no problem.
Okay.
You look like it's been a long day. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired. You know, everyone gets tired.
That's true. She points over her shoulder. "Do you want to come inside for some tea?"
Maybe not tea, but I wouldn't mind just
getting out of the rain.
Getting out of the rain.
Come on. And she like gently pats you the side of your arm and leads you to her store, which you've been in many times. It's a very small, like cramped studio kind of place. In the middle is a table with this stereotypical crystal ball on it that she's told you many times she doesn't use it. She just likes the way it looks. There are bookcases that line the walls with all kinds of occult reading material. There's pentagrams made out of twigs and stuff that hang. There's little dolls everywhere. It's no reason that people, especially young kids in town, call her a witch. But she's been nothing but, kind the whole time she's been here. And she leads you inside and closes the door, and you notice that she doesn't flip the sign to open. She leaves it on close. And she says, "I'm going to go put these away, but you just sit down. Just take a moment."
Okay. And she keeps her hands in her pockets and sort of goes and looks along the bookcases. And just like the decoration in general, just sort of weaving in between everything. Like if she has to duck under something that's hanging or anything like that.
And this is a very warming environment. Like even for you, Sandy, you can feel the warmth here. It sort of smells like cinnamon and clove, and it's a very niche kind of place, but it's welcoming, especially to you. It's probably one of the only places you find welcoming these days.
And she'll probably go and find the usual chair she normally sits in. Sometimes she comes here when she's not visible and literally just likes to sit in the room. So she'll find a chair in the corner and just sort of, she's not subtle, so probably really loudly drag it. It's just forward and then just perch herself on it. And if there's like a little bar underneath, she'll sort of tuck her feet.
Yeah. It's a few moments later, you hear the kettle go off, and Harriet comes back and with a tray, and it does have 2 cups, even though you said you didn't want one. It's something she does regardless. She always brings an extra cup just in case. And she has this warm smile on her face, and she sits down, and she just leans forward and begins to fix herself a cup of tea. She says, "Are you sure you don't want any?"
"I might in a bit. It's fine. Honestly, just sort yourself out for now. But thank you."
Well, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. How have you been doing?
Yeah, fine. Just, you know, here and there. I got summer school again. So, yeah.
You have that all the time. What did you do this time to get in?
Um, the usual pranks. Just not turning in my work, basically.
She laughs a little bit. I've told you you've got to stop that, Sandy. You're never going to graduate.
No, I probably won't.
What do your parents say about it?
They're used to it.
Well, you're such a smart girl. Probably one of the smartest in Leafside, to be honest.
I'm still there.
Well, it's not shameful. A lot of us never leave. Do you want me to read your aura today or something, your fortune? Or you just want to sit like we do?
Do you know what? It's been a weird day. Go for it. I know I don't normally like it or anything like that, but go for it. Anything could surprise me today.
She she looks at you and nods very softly, and she reaches out and takes your hand. And she's done this a couple of times for you, and you've always been really reluctant about it. But you watch as she closes her eyes and sort of hums to herself. And after a moment, you feel in her hand something growing hot and hot and hotter.
Like uncomfortably hot?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I sort of try and
She has like a death grip on your
grip.
hand. Yeah. And she's not reacting. She's still sitting there stark still, humming under her breath.
And keep trying to put it back like and just sort of wincing knowing this is happening.
You watch her face sort of contort into this image of pain, then of sadness, then of confusion. A range of emotions go through her face as her eyes are closed, sitting there, face to face with you. And after a moment, she opens her eyes and looks at you. And she just says, "Oh, Sandy, I'm so sorry."
What?
I don't know what it is, but whatever you're about to go through, I'm so sorry.
And she just sort of rolls her bottom lip like, sounds about right.
There was someone, this figure, this shadowed figure, just always behind you, reaching out, trying to grab you. I had never seen it before, but I don't know if it was the future. I don't know if it's soon, but it finally got you. And all I could see was you just disappearing, being dragged into this darkness.
And Sandy can't quite help but just check behind her when she says there's someone following you. And she's like, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just a metaphor for something.
I mean, are you running from something? And she sort of laughs.
And she's like, life?
We can't always run from life. It's going to catch up with you eventually.
And she just smirks at that. And she's, yeah.
She pats your hand and lets go of it. And the tightness had let off as soon as she opened her eyes up. And she says, "Have you been feeling strange lately?"
A little under the weather, I guess is what you could call it.
She looks around, and there's a lot of bad energy in the air lately.
And she sort of remembers back to what's happened the last few days, is it? Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, I hope you don't get caught up in it.
I hope I don't too.
yeah, I think we'll leave that there as she sips her tea. And the both of you sort of sit in this silence together, it's comfortable silence like you do sometimes. And we'll go back over to Quinn. So a couple of hours have passed, Quinn. It's later on into the evening now. Probably around 6:30ish.
Mm.
And you and your sister have been sitting in the study, just watching TV together, not really talking about anything that isn't off of the subject of whatever you guys are watching.
Right.
And there's you hear the doorbell ring, and Chloe like looks at you automatically and raises an eyebrow, like, "You gonna get it?"
Okay. Quinn is going to get up and go to the door, but before she opens the door, she's going to see if she can peek out a window next to it or something to see who's standing on the front porch.
Yeah, it's Francis from earlier.
Okay. So Quinn is going to open the door and kind of like crack it open a little bit and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Oh, hey, I wanted to come see your sister. Is she home?
Let me check real quick. And Quinn is actually gonna like leave him on the porch and shut the door and then go run into the other room and be like, "Guys here, are you home?"
She looks up at you and just goes, "Oh God." "Yeah, I'm home." And she stands up and she says, "Just stay. I'll go talk to him."
Okay.
And she walks outside, or she walks away from the room, and you hear the door close.
Okay.
And it's not a couple of seconds later, you hear a really loud, "Fuck you, Francis," coming from outside on your front porch.
Okay.
And you can hear them sort of yelling at each other.
Is there any way for Quinn to kind of like go to a like front facing window and kind of crack it open to see if I can hear what they're talking about?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, totally. You as you do this, Chloe, you hear Chloe just say, "You had no right to talk to my sister. You know, this has nothing to do with her." And Francis just says, "This has everything to do with everyone in Leafside. Everyone's at fault." And Chloe, you just hear like this disgruntled groan, which you're very familiar with from your sister. And she just says, "No, Quinn's done nothing. This was on us. This was on the people who were here years ago. Don't blame a whole town just because we did something wrong." And Francis, you can sort of see a little bit, and you see him step forward, and your sister puts a hand out and stops him. "Don't come any closer to me, Francis." And he says, "You know what I'm capable of, Chloe. And I don't want to do anything bad, but if I don't have your help, then I might have to." And Chloe just like, the whole moment between them goes silent. And he takes a step back, and you can see him and even hear the footsteps as he like takes a couple steps down the stairs. And he says, "Just think about my offer, Chloe, and maybe Quinn won't have to be involved." And you watch as he walks away, and you hear Chloe still outside this goes, "Fucking God damn it. What do I do?" And you hear her like she's breathing, like trying to calm down.
Okay.
And
Quinn is actually going to like kind of slowly start to shut the window, unless you had something to add to that.
no, she's you hear the door click as she's like coming back inside.
Yeah. So shut the window and kind of go back and act like I wasn't doing anything.
And she comes back just like nothing has happened. There's a smile on her face. She says, he's been obsessed with me since high school. He wanted to take me on a date. And he wasn't taking no for an answer. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So how did you guys meet in high school?
Oh, we were all part of the this club. I don't think you guys have it anymore. It was called the Light and Dark Club. It was something he made up. It was really stupid.
Okay. What'd you guys do?
I mean, just we I don't know how to explain it. We did a lot of community outreach.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he was like our valedictorian and very smart and, you know, full of himself. And I guess
Right.
now that he's back in town, I'm gonna have to deal with him.
Well, hopefully he leaves you alone now.
I mean, I think I got my point across. I'm not interested in him.
Okay.
If he comes around you, you should probably, you know, not, you know, he'll probably, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want him to mess with you to try to mess with me.
That makes sense. I'll be careful.
She nods and goes back to sit down on the couch. Yeah, there's just a lot about him that he's just very weird, Quinn.
Weird like how?
Like always there when you least want him to be weird. It's just very strange.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Thanks. You make better choices than I do anyway, so I trust you'll be able to.
Okay. And Quinn doesn't really know how to approach anything else at this point, or if she even wants to, so she just kind of stays quiet.
Yeah, I think Chloe lets the subject drop, and after a moment you hear like bustling around in your kitchen, and you can tell that like your mom's starting dinner. And I think we'll go back over to Elvis. Elvis, you've invited June into your shack, and
I did, yep.
she looks around and she says, you know, this is nice. This is nice. That's what I'm gonna say. This is nice.
Oh, yeah, it's only really for sleeping. I spend most of my time at school or at Frank's or sometimes visiting my mom up at the motel or all these other places, you know? Like, mainly I just sleep here on that mattress, maybe sometimes grab some liquor.
Got a very active social life there, bud. So the reason I'm here, like I said, was so my sister is in the police force, and she found all these bodies.
Wait a minute. I missed that bit earlier. It must have been what with all of the fur and body popping shit. Your sister's in the police force?
Yeah, I'm going back, circling around to the bodies here, Elvis.
I don't really. I mean, I struggle. Police don't like me and Rodriguez. They you know, I get arrested a lot.
Yeah, she's now that you're I don't know how to put, now that you're one of us, she's gonna make sure it's taken care of, Elvis. We know you didn't do anything wrong.
One of us.
Yeah, Elvis, I bet you're a werewolf. What I did, you can do.
No, that's silly. Don't be silly. I can't do that. I'm just a hunter.
The full moon is tomorrow night, so I mean you're gonna figure it out one way or the other. We can't control it on a full moon. That's why one reason I was coming. I wanted to offer you a chance to come stay with the pack, so you didn't, go off and kill anybody. We could take care of you.
I kill any. I never killed no one.
I'm not saying you did, but you might.
Are you trying to put me up for a homicide or something? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you a narc?
I'm trying to prevent you from committing one. If you turn into a wolf and you don't have anyone there to watch out for you when you can't control yourself the first time, who knows what'll happen? We've had a couple of casualties.
Can't control myself the first time.
I think at this point too, Claudia and Elliot, you're walking up outside of the shack.
Haven't I got school tomorrow?
Yeah, you do.
What? Well, I mean, I'd love to come and have a slumber party, with all your werewolf friends, but I'm supposed to be at school. I need to pass this year. I've been trying to pass this year for the last 10 years, and this year's gonna be the one that it happens.
Well, I mean, you can just come after school. It's just during the full moon. And then when you wake up in the morning, you won't even remember anything.
I mean, alright, maybe I'll think about it.
Well,
where do you cats normally party?
We live out by the motel where your mom works. You know that trailer park out there? Leafside Residential.
You guys are from the park?
We are, yeah.
Helen, you were telling me that my place is nice? You got some real nice places up there.
Yeah, we do. I just, I wanted to warn you because of all this. Like, all the bodies seem connected in some way, the ones that we've lost.
What do you mean lost? You put them down somewhere?
I mean, they were murdered, Elvis. Something's going on here in this town, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, you mean the ones in the warehouse and all that? Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not a detective. It sounds like you should speak to your sister about this. Because she sounds like she is a detective. But if I were you, I'd probably get together some of the boys and go hunting.
Well, see, that's the thing, Elvis. I didn't bite you because you're the smartest or a detective or anything. I bit you because you're strong.
You know, that real hurt when you bit me.
Well, I had to be sure that you could handle it.
I've been aching there for weeks. That's why you see me twisting my neck around all over the place.
Until your first change, it's going to hurt too. But tomorrow, after that, it'll be like nothing.
I'll think about it, okay? I still think you're talking gobbledygook, but I don't want to kill nobody. So, I'll go to school tomorrow, and then I'll by then I'll have made a decision, and I mean, heck, I might just be fun to come and check out the parks anyway, and if nothing else, I can pop in and see my ma.
I mean, you're one of us now, kid, and whether you like it or not, it's better to like it, though. It makes the whole process easier. The pack has each other's back no matter what, and now you're part of the pack, so we're going to protect you.
Pack protect?
Yeah, Elvis.
Well, look, just for a minute, let's suspend disbelief, okay? I hope you understand that is a difficult phrase for me to come up with, but I heard it. Let's suspend disbelief. It's something the police say to me all the time. Now, if I believe you, and I am a werewolf, like, what does that mean exactly? I turn into one of them.
What you saw me turn into. After your first transformation, you can do it at will, but you'll have to transform every full moon whether you like it or not.
But who is he and why do I need him?
What, the werewolf?
No, Will.
Oh my goodness, Elvis. You can transform whenever you want to.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, does that mean I still need to get experience, right? And go and get myself a job and everything. It doesn't get me off the hook for that. I still need education.
Well, yeah, of course. You need to live a normal life. We do. All of us do.
So I don't just become a werewolf and then get a police badge like your sister?
No, my sister worked hard at the police academy.
Ah, shit.
Well, she wanted to be a detective since she was a little girl, and she did it.
Well, congratulations to her. Hard work pays off. God knows it. All right.
Claudia and Elliot, what are you both, or Claudia, what are you doing outside as you're listening?
I am both Claudia and Elliot.
You are Claudia and Elliot.
Yeah, I think Claudia on her way here, she stopped by her house and grabbed her baseball bat. And she I think her and Elliot are both kind of crouched outside of the shack and like trying to listen. And I think it's about this time that Claudia is like trying to peek. Like I don't know if the shack has windows or like a break in the wood.
Oh, all in both, yeah. Whatever you like.
Yeah, and I think you're just hearing this conversation, and Elliot still acts. You can still sort of see that they don't believe you, but they're interested in everything that this person is saying.
Okay.
And June looks at you, Elvis, and says, "Look, I'll be looking forward to you coming out to the parks tomorrow afternoon. But we got a lot to talk about. We got to give you some sort of briefing on what we got ahead of us, because we can't let any more pack members die, especially not any young ones. So, losing Tyler's gonna hurt his family a lot."
So, am I right in thinking that you bit me so I could come protect you?
We don't need your protection, Elvis. We need help.
But you said that you bit me because I was strong and that the pack protects.
Yeah, you're a good candidate to be a wolf. You're not weak like the rest of the people you were with.
All right.
It's a compliment.
Anyway, I'll pop by after school tomorrow and see what y'all are talking about. But if I don't change into no wolf, then I know this is all fooey, and I'm gonna go hunting like normal. All right.
Sounds good. How about if you don't change, we'll even get you up a hunting party to go with. Free booze and everything.
Free booze? Hell yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Just be careful. Don't get too frustrated. That makes it come out sometimes.
Don't get too frustrated. How advice is that? All right, I'll try not to get too frustrated.
She turns and, without saying anything, walks outside of your shack. And Claudia, you and Elliot both hear the crunching of leaves as she walks away.
So Elliot and Claudia were in the front of the shack.
Okay. And that changes things. I thought you guys would be smart enough to be on the side.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't assume I do anything smart.
That is, how long have I known you? Yeah. So she walks out and sees the both of you and just goes, "Can I help you? Elvis, I think you got company."
More? Goddamn, no one ever comes visit me out in the woods. I'm gonna come to my door and be like, "Hello?" Claudia, I thought you were resting. I thought you hurt your ankle and we're supposed to be giving it resting and elevation.
Claudia kind of stands and she just kind of rests the baseball bat on her shoulders before thinking twice and then moving it behind her back.
You bought a base. You can't play no baseball at a minute. You hurt your ankle. You need to recover. I don't have an elevator out here. You need a multi-story building to get your ankle in an elevator.
All right, yeah, that's I was just going out for a walk and I heard some strange stuff and I thought maybe that you would need some help. But
June is standing there with her arms crossed, just like watching this whole scene.
All right, I'm just gonna be straight with y'all. She's whack.
What, are you trying to whack her, or are you saying she's crazy?
I mean, I'm not gonna whack her if I don't have to.
Why do you want to whack? I don't even know who you are. Why do you want to whack me?
She seems pretty crazy. No, I mean nice. I mean, she seems pretty nice.
Thanks, Elvis.
Look, that was what I've been told about that. That's when your mouth says the thing that you think that. No, I wasn't thinking.
I saw what you did.
What I did? You want to elaborate on that?
I saw you transform.
And what of it?
Well, that's a good question.
She takes a step close to you, Claudia, getting very into your personal space bubble.
Claudia's sweating.
She sort of sniffs the air and she leans forward close to your ear and she says, "And what are you?"
I'd like to use my musk on.
Don't say you want to use your musk.
That's what the move is called.
I hate it. Okay, use it. God damn it.
I'd like to use my I have a nat 20, right? I have a critical success.
Yes, you do. Yeah, totally do.
I would like to use it.
Okay, so when you sweat in the first one, so you get a string on June.
Okay.
This is June Bud, Alpha of the Leaf Side.
Oh, Alpha.
She said that earlier, yeah.
Oh boy.
Alpha of the Leaf Side Wolf Pack. And they choose. Yeah, I think she like leans forward again and has another sniff. And she says, I don't know what. God, stop it! I hate it.
I'm not sorry.
You know, Scrat, I think we should get some t-shirts with just the word musk across that we can wear purely on Thursday.
It wouldn't be the first time that something dumb Dingo has said has become a shirt.
Musk.
You were saying, Katie?
I hate this so much.
Fragrance for Sasquatches.
She leans forward and she just takes this long smell and she says, "I don't know what you are, but you do smell pretty good for whatever you are. I've never smelt it before."
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Really, people just come up to you all the time and tell you smell good?
Or bad.
Elliot looks over at the both of you and just goes, "I mean, she needs a new deodorant." And June just laughs out loud.
I like the natural deodorant. I know it doesn't work as well, but it's better for my skin.
June steps back, still like with a smile on her face, and she looks over at Elvis. And she says, "Just remember my offer."
Yeah, I'll remember, alright.
And I think she looks at you again, Claudia, and to Elliot, and she just says, I'm gonna go if that's all right with you out here saying crazy things.
Yes, that's fine. But I think we should have maybe a talk later.
Oh, you want to talk to me later?
Well, I would like to figure out what the hell is going on.
I mean, there's a lot going on in Leafside. I don't know if you really want to know about it.
Well, I guess I'll find out.
She takes a step aside, puts her hands in her pockets, and sort of like brushes off her ripped clothes. And she walks off behind you, leaving you and Elliot alone there with Elvis standing in front. And Elliot looks at Elvis and just goes, "Who the fuck is she?"
Oh my god, she's the scariest and prettiest woman I've ever seen in my whole life.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Who is she, Elvis?
I don't know. She was telling me that her name's June and that she lives over in the parks and that she's got a sister in the police and that I'm gonna turn into a werewolf tomorrow.
What?
Well, that's what she said. I think she's all gobbledygook. But I agreed to go back to their parks place tomorrow just in case.
I mean, Claudia said that she saw her turn into something. You think that's gonna happen to Elvis? And they like look over at you.
Elvis, is that gonna happen to you?
I don't know. I think it's probably bull, but...
I mean, aren't you always yelling about the fact that you got into a big fight with a big creature?
Yeah, you did say you got bit, Elvis. You told everybody about that for days.
Well,
You got bit.
yeah, but... Yeah, I did. And yeah, it was... She reckons that it was her what bit me. But... You know... That's just what happens in stories, right?
I guess.
Elliot looks at you, Claudia, with like very serious eyes. If you saw her transform, then I guess it's... You promise me you're not crazy, right? Elvis, did you see her transform?
She did get quite hairy. She got also a lot taller and looked a lot like a big scary wolf man.
I told
Oh
you.
my
I told you,
God.
Elliot. Elvis, I don't think you should trust her.
You don't think I should I shouldn't go back to their park tomorrow?
She seems really scary and really weird, and I don't know if I would trust her.
Why did she even want you to come back?
Well, she
Elvis?
said that tomorrow night's a full moon, and the first
shit.
time people change, they kill everyone around them or something like that.
Oh, shit.
So she was gonna look after me to make sure I don't go and be a homicidal maniac.
Unless she encourages you to be a homicidal maniac when you're under your little wolfy thing and you can't you can't control yourself, so she unleashes you on the town. I don't think this is a good idea at all.
Wait, I have an idea. And Elliot like looks at you, Elvis. What if we lock you in your shack tomorrow during the full moon?
We could
Me and
help.
Claudia could take turns watching.
Elvis walks over to one of the planks on his shack and just like pushes it and it falls in.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
The basement in the diner.
You want to
That's
lock
got a pretty
me in
strong
the
door.
basement in the diner?
And it has a different entrance, so if anyone's eating there late, no one would know.
I mean, I was gonna go out to the parks tomorrow anyway because that's where my ma works, and I was gonna go pay her a visit. It's right next to her, so I thought I'd pop in on the way through, sort of thing.
That is a terrible, 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 terrible idea, Elvis. And
At
I'd
least,
like to,
shut
I'd
down.
like to roll to shut someone down.
Yeah, roll cold.
I'm not good at that. Okay.
So a partial success.
Mhm.
You get to choose an option. You come across poorly, and they can give you a condition. So they can lose a string on you. If they have no strings, gain one on them. They gain a condition, or you take one forward.
Do you have any strings on me, Elvis?
I don't think that I do.
You do not.
No, I don't, but I do have one on your friend.
I actually already have strings on you, so I would like to take one forward.
Okay. Elvis, you can give Claudia a condition as she's trying to convince you not to go to the parks.
I think I'm gonna give her the condition jealous.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh. Elliot just like looks at the both of you. He says, "Well, maybe don't go alone, Elvis. If you really want to go,
Well, that
maybe
could
just
wo-
make sure someone goes with you."
we
I'll
could-
go with you.
Are you sure you want, Claudia? You're supposed to be looking after your foot. You need to find an elevator.
I'll grab a crutch from the nurse's office and I'll bring it with me.
I don't think they got elevators out in the trailer park either. There's not one
I
in the
mean-
motel. Is there even one in the village?
This isn't the first time that she's hurt herself, Elvis. I think it's a good idea. You won't be alone,
Spring.
just in case whatever Claudia's instincts might be right, and she can get you out of there. And if not, she can just leave at the end. You know, she can leave you there if you want to stay there.
Oh hell, okay. I guess. I mean, I don't mind. You guys can come along as well. But why don't we all go? It sounded like they were having a party out there, so we could take most of the class. We could get some beers. We could take out. I mean, doesn't one of them rich kids have like a speaker system in their car? We could take that out there with some beers.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll guarantee that you're safe and everyone else is safe.
And we can all get really drunk. And I
Sure.
won't be a homicidal maniac. It's a perfect idea.
I could probably use a beer to settle my nerves.
It's yeah. Great.
And beer's known to heal as well.
How? Is
Well,
that like
you drink-
like a home remedy?
You drink beer and you feel better. That's what all
That's
the adverts
perfect.
say.
That makes perfect sense.
I guess I can't argue with that.
Um,
So, party tomorrow.
Elliot just like looks over his shoulder as if he's trying to just making sure that you can tell he's still sort of nervous. And he just nods. Yeah. Party tomorrow. This is fine. Yeah.
It's fine. Come on, Elliot. I'll take you home. And she kind of takes them by the arm and walks over to her bike.
Yeah, they follow along and they sort of give you a wave, Elvis. See you in school in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, I'll see you in the morning.
See you tomorrow, Elvis.
You all got them fancy mobiles, right? Tell everyone at school about party.
We will. And as Elliot like climbs up on the back and puts his arm around your waist to steady himself, they just go, "Oh, this is good. I don't know if this is a good idea." Like in your ear, Claudia sort of whispering to you.
I mean, it gets us closer to figuring out what is going on. You know?
Did you hear her in there talking about Tyler?
I mean, I heard a little bit.
Did you know that?
If I had known that, I would have been freaking out a lot earlier, Elliot.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, to like an hour ago.
What
It's
the
fine.
fuck else is in this town?
I guess we just, well, whatever Sandy is. And I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
vampires.
I don't want to know about that.
It's fine. We'll go to this party. We will investigate. What would Nancy Drew do? She would throw a party and investigate.
Completely. Yeah. This is 100% Nancy Drew. Okay. We'll be fine.
I'm Nancy, you're Drew.
I wanted to be Nancy.
Fine, you could be Nancy, I'll be Drew.
Okay. Then I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think you ride off. And we'll go up to Sandy. Sandy, did you stay? Were you still staying in Lady Harriet's, or did you leave after a little bit? It's getting late into the evening.
She would have left after a little bit, just so that she didn't become like a burden to this poor old woman that was constantly waiting for her to drink her tea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she would have gradually left and probably kept walking for a bit.
I think you find yourself just naturally drawn back to the school, as you always are wont to do. You're not inside, but you're sort of like on this outskirts of the school grounds.
I'll say she'll stand sort of by, if there's like a playground with like a fence around it, she'll probably just stand there.
Yeah, of course. And as you're standing there looking, you begin to smell that chemical smell that you had smelled earlier when you first found the body, your body. And off in the distance, you can see, finally, as apparently they've been waiting for, everyone to sort of leave the grounds, the paramedics, or not really forensics workers, I guess you'd call them, carrying out a body bag on a gurney, heading toward an ambulance parked out front.
She will see this and probably just walk along the fence, like trailing her fingers through it, but not taking her eyes off of the body bag as she walks along.
As you're watching this, roll dark and gaze into the abyss for me.
This I can actually do.
Oh, yes. As you're walking and you see this happening, your vision sort of goes blurry for a moment. And you get this thought of the school, in the same summer school room that you are in now. But 5 years ago, this wasn't for summer school. This was a history class. And you're sitting there in your desk, and it's just a normal day. You see this girl with a long blonde hair talking to this other person with darker hair. There's a boy with blonde hair. They're all sort of gathered around you, and the four of you are laughing and having a good time. You can't really make out what's being said, but you can hear the laugh, sort of like you're in like a wind tunnel kind of feeling. And then your vision changes to where you're in the chemistry lab, and you're all sort of gathered around. You don't know what this sigil is, wrote out on this big piece of graph paper in front of you on this lab table, but you've all held hands, and it seems to be doing some sort of, like, you guys are performing some sort of ritual. And in your mind, you can see everything go dark in the room. You can see the fear on all of your faces. And you can sort of even feel the chill down your spines. as you continue this ritual over and over again, saying the same words, this incantation. And you see from just out of the corner of your eye in this moment, you see this shadow appear in the shape of a humanoid. And it reaches out to touch all of you, one by one. But as it touches you, Sandy, you watch as your body back then begins to grow frail and fall to the floor. You see the rest of your friends panicking. They're trying to grab you, wake you up. They're shaking you. They're not sure what's happening. And this shadow creature disappears. And as you sort of blink, you're back in the present.
And she probably would have brought her hands up to her mouth, probably trying to calm herself down again, because I'd say she's shaking at what she's just seen. But as soon as it snaps back, and she just reaches out and touches the fence with both hands just to make sure that she's actually there.
Yeah, you do, and you actually see a couple of kids run out and begin to play on the playground. They don't really pay you any attention, but they begin hitting the tetherball back and forth. And you watch as the ambulance pulls a Yui and drives past you. You watch it disappear into the distance. And that's where we're going to leave Sandy. And elsewhere, it's as the night is, this night sort of comes to an end. It's very late, getting very late, and we see this this short woman. Her hair's pulled up into a messy bun, salt and pepper colored, very older. She's sitting across from a man much younger than she is, very tall and lean, and he has like this air of confidence about him, sort of full of himself. He's dressed far too nice. And they're sitting in Rosie's with a kettle between them. And they're both holding mugs in their hands. But neither of the mugs look touched at all. And the only people in Rosie's at this hour, there's a man asleep in a booth toward the back, and there's a few truckers at the counter eating late dinners. But besides the workers, they're the only patrons here. And all you can see is this tense silence between the two of these people before the woman taps her long red fingernails on the linoleum countertop, top. And she just says, "Francis, you know that this isn't the way to achieve what you want, right? You're going to hurt a lot of innocent people by doing this." And the man frowns and he brushes a piece of his hair back into place and just, "You know as well as I that there's no innocent people left in this town, Harriet. It's every person for themselves now. Pack against clan, free agents like ourselves against everyone else." And Harriet looks down at her mug and she nods very reluctantly. But then she looks up and locks eyes with Francis. "That girl 5 years ago, she was innocent. And look what's happening because of what you all did." And it's just a moment passes and the man's grip on the mug gets tighter and tighter. And after a moment, it shatters. And this hot tea spills all over the table. And everyone inside looks up. You see a waitress like grabbing a towel to come over to pick it up, to come clean it up. And Francis just clears his throat. He stands up and smooths out his coat. And he looks at Harriet so seriously. Says, "This isn't a town for the innocent. Not anymore." And he walks out of Rosie's. And that's where we're going to leave it this week. Because I'm not feeling well.
No.
So I'm gonna cut an hour early. I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, health first, health first.
Yeah, that's like our thing.
Mm.
I want an ending to leave it on.
Oh, I'm sure there's no problem here. Peck against Clan, that's just like, Yankees versus Beavers or something. Yeah,
Jets and Sharks.
yeah,
Versus
same,
socks.
same thing. I don't know. Y'all are American. I'm British. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Cool. So let's go around, guys. We'll do a quick wrap up today because staring at screens isn't good for people with headaches.
Yeah.
So we'll go round and quickly give us your favorite bit, where we can find you online, and then I'll do my big wrap with all the spiel and the sponsors, and then we will take an extra hour to prepare for the next stream.
Yeah, Alice, you want to go first?
Yeah, it can do. This was awesome. I look forward to this every single week. Katie, you're such an awesome storyteller. So good. You know how to build the tension, you know how to make it dark, and it's basically everything I love anyway. This is an awesome group to play with as well, I just want to say, because you're all awesome characters and it's just brilliant. One of my favorite bits, I think, was literally just it was Sandy talking to the woman who a lot of the time she sits in her living room and the woman doesn't even notice, and sort of role playing that out a little bit, and also every time we said the word Musk and Casey cannot
Hate it.
deal.
I hate it so much.
And the music, of course, when the music kicked in, like that's been a thing. But yeah, I'm White Rabbit Pick on Twitter, and I run our Eberron game, I run our Eden game, and I also run the viewer game that was earlier, using Dark Matter, which was Argo 37. And I'm also in a lot of games, but I will let Scrap do all the other side of it. So yeah, awesome. I really can't wait till next week. Thank you.
Meg?
Okay. Sorry, hold on. I was just correcting my camera stuff, my bad. Yeah, I'm Meg. What all should I say?
What you liked and where we can find you, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Close enough.
Sorry, I messed everything up. So pretty much right now you can just find me on Twitter. I am working on a blog right now, but that's still in the works. And what I liked. I really liked all the stuff with Francis this session. That was really fun. It was mysterious.
Dingo?
There we go. I'm Dingo. You can find me on Twitter at Where's My Dingus. And that's kind of where I post and retweet all the stuff that I'm doing. But the most recent thing I'm doing is tomorrow I will be back on my home channel, Off the Table, with Katie, who's running our Monster of the Week game. So I will be on there playing a little spooky if you want to check that out. And my favorite bit tonight was definitely you describing the transformation. June doing her like bone-breaking transformation. That was awesome, and I loved it.
I'm glad. I'm Katie. You can find me on my private Twitter or personal Twitter at KatieFace. I also do the social media for Off the Table. I have a schedule on my Twitter because I do about 9 to 10 shows a week. It varies which week it is. But tomorrow, like Dingo said, I will be the keeper for Monster of the Week. I'm very excited. We're going into season 2. And Saturday, I'll be running a game on my channel, twitch.tv/KatieFace. I'll be running a game of Crossroads Carnival. And then Sunday, I'll be running a game of The King is Dead, and then 13 Demon Princes, which is a game on Kickstarter, which you should all back because it's so good. I haven't even played it yet. And it's Saturday and Sunday, not tomorrow. I'm sorry. Sunday is 13 Demon Princes. The creator is going to be in chat. It's going to be a very good time. I'm very excited to run it. And also don't worry about your donations. I have them written down. I just didn't get to them this session, but those bad things will be coming for Elvis soon.
Oh boy.
I'm sure Twitter will be happy.
Can I plug one more thing before we go? Because I completely forgot about it. I always forget. If you want to listen, if you're dying for more Monster Hearts, Katie and I are on Off the Tables podcast, Tabled Hearts, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast. You can find that on, you can find the link to it on off-thetable.com. We have a whole section about it.
I just dropped it in chat for you guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're on it. We just dropped session 3. It usually drops every Saturday.
Yep.
Well, that just leaves me. I don't think there's any question about what my favorite part was, because it's not very often that I get to break a DM with a little bit of that. It was by far the most magical moment, Katie, as you collapsed on the ground. It made me so happy. So happy. Anyway. Social things. That's not how you do it. That is. Discord, Twitter, YouTube, they're all great places. Twitter is the one that you want, where you want to get into a game. Discord, if you just want to come and be part of an awesome community. And YouTube, if you want to be harassed by tons and tons and tons of notifications this weekend as I make loads and loads of things live. We're full-time. If you would like to support us, as you have done today, thank you so much again. There's our Patreon. There's our merch. We also have sponsors, Bird in the Storm Publishing, who have merchandise and a Twitter there that you can find. And we also are now sponsored by Mage Hand Press. And you can see their game Dark Matter on our Thursday streams at 1 PM, which is the show before this one. Lots and lots of fun, and you can see a free 30-page review in there. And I know a lot of you have been looking through that as we got into the game, so thank you very much for checking that out. Today, I still haven't done a competition because I'm lazy, but I will get onto that. In fact, I could do that now since we've got an extra hour. That'd be a good thing to do. That'd be a sensible thing to do, right? Today I can see the wonderful Bird versus Plane, who is one of our sponsors.
It's Bird and Jay.
Bird and Jay, our sponsors, are playing a little bit of Divinity 2. If you know Bird and Jay, you know that is a fun place to be. Believe it or not, they are not father and son, but I would implore you all to call them father and son. Before we go across, quickly in chat, 1's for don't expect me to do smart things, 2's for what would Nancy Drew do as our raid war cry. Go, quick, whilst the raid cools down. We are now full time, which means we stream Monday to Thursday, 1 PM, 6 PM, and 10 PM, and on Fridays we stream 1 PM EST over on the Greyhawk channel, and 8 PM here, doing Lady Blackbird. And Lady Blackbird is run by Kienna, is also twinned with our sister show. I think it's fair to say sister show, Off the Table. Yeah, sister show. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're going for don't expect me to do smart things. There's a version without hype. And there is a version with hype. So if you've got scrap hype, the rule is smoke them if you got them. And let's get over there. It would help if I got the cat just got in the washing machine. Are you joking, Alice?
No, I can see a tail just. Oh yeah.
Should we turn it on?
Does Hildy need a bath?
Apparently.
I mean, if she's keen. So the raid's cooling down now. Like I say, we're streaming full time. Thank you so much everyone for being here and supporting us. Katie, get better soon. God damn you, look after yourself. And let's go and get into this raideroo. Keep evoking emotions, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.